Are you ready for AI? I mean, really ready. Because today, we're going deep on how your workplace culture, yes, culture can make or break your AI game. We're diving into a video presentation all about AI readiness. And get this, it uses management theories, X, Y, and Z, to figure out who's set for AI success. By the end of this, you'll know where you fall on that XYZ spectrum. And trust me, that's more insightful than you think. Because this is about how we work, how we're managed, and how ready we really are for AI.
You hit the nail on the head. These theories, they reveal a lot about what people believe, about work and motivation. It's fascinating stuff, but also essential for any organization, especially now with AI changing how we do things.
Okay, so quick history lesson for context. Theory X, that's the old school one, right? Think Industrial Revolution, factories, very command and control.
Exactly.
Then along came Theory Y in the 60s, bit more modern, more about letting people have autonomy, be creative. And finally, Theory Z, blending Western and Eastern management ideas in the 80s.
Yeah, it's like the evolution of how we think about work. And this video makes a bold claim. It says Theory X is basically incompatible with AI.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Why is that?
Well, because Theory X relies on control and punishment, right? Think micromanagers, strict rules, not much room for creativity or trying new things. AI needs the opposite. It thrives on experimentation, flexibility, a willingness to learn and adapt.
So, very different cultures, then.
Totally.
The video does a great job of explaining these theories using very vivid language. Like with Theory X, it's all about people disliking work and only being motivated by money.
Classic carrots and sticks.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Theory Y sees workers as actually enjoying a challenge, wanting to contribute, and being able to direct themselves. And then Theory Z takes it even further. It's about long-term growth, strong company culture, work-life balance, treating people like, well, whole people.
And that brings us to something really fascinating, the connection between these management theories and Agile.
Oh yeah, tell me more about that.
Well, what's striking is how much Theory Z and Agile values overlap. Think about it. Trust, collaboration, continuous learning, long-term vision, those are core to both.
It's true when you lay it out like that, and the video actually argues that those Agile values are essential for successful AI implementation.
Exactly. It's all about creating the right environment.
One thing I really liked about the video is how visual it is. They have these timelines, comparison charts, even a gauge showing how AI-ready a company is based on its management style.
It makes it really easy to grasp.
They even have this self-assessment quiz where you read statement like, the average person prefers to be directed, avoids responsibility, has little ambition, and you're like, whoa, is that how they see people?
That's pure Theory X right there. And then they contrast it with statements from the other theories, like people should participate in decision-making at all levels of the organization.
Right, and it makes you think, okay, where do I fall on this spectrum? What kind of workplace do I want to be a part of? And the video goes on to show how these different mindsets play out in real-world scenarios.
Absolutely. It's not just theory, right? It impacts real projects and companies.
Like they have this case study of a company that tried to implement AI, but their management style was super Theory X, control freaks. And surprise, surprise, it totally backfired. They stifled the very creativity and agility that AI needs to thrive.
What's fascinating to me is that this isn't just about the tech itself. This is about understanding people. What motivates us, how we learn best, how we work together. That's what makes these theories so relevant, even more so with AI in the picture.
So are you Team X, Team Y, or Team Z? And what does that mean for your company's ability to truly embrace AI? Let's keep unpacking this. There's a lot more to explore.
Absolutely. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many practical implications to consider, especially with technology changing so rapidly.
One thing I'm really curious about is how Agile culture, values, principles, practices, processes, and tools can help companies move away from that Theory X mindset and become more AI ready. Because it seems like there's a real connection there.
Definitely. It's like Agile can be that bridge, helping shift the culture in the right direction. And the cool thing about Agiles is that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It can be adapted to fit different needs and situations.
So even if your workplace seems stuck in a Theory X rut, there's still hope. You can start introducing Agile concepts, even in small ways, and start moving towards a more AI-ready environment. This is so fascinating. We're already getting a glimpse into the future of work and how we can create workplaces that are both fulfilling and embrace the power of AI.
Absolutely. It's not just about the tech. It's about evolving how we think and creating cultures where both people and AI can thrive.
And that's a future worth striving for. You don't have to wait for your company to make these changes. You can start incorporating these principles into your own work and interactions.
Exactly. Awareness is the first step. Once you understand these theories and the role Agile can play, you can be a catalyst for positive change. Even in small ways, it makes a difference.
This deep dive has already given me so much to think about, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling the same way. But before we wrap up this part, let's go back to that video and pull out some key takeaways our listeners can put into action.
Yes, let's do that. There are some real gems in there that can help anyone navigate this changing world of work, whether you're a manager, an individual contributor, or just curious about the future in AR.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure to include links to the video in the description so you can dive in yourself. It's seriously worth a watch.
Totally agree.
All right, so we've talked theories, but let's get real. What does this all mean for our listeners? Like, day-to-day work life, are we really seeing this XYZ stuff play out?
Absolutely. Just knowing these theories is like getting a behind-the-scenes look at your workplace. You start noticing those unspoken assumptions about how people work, what motivates them. It's all there, just under the surface.
Like, you suddenly understand why things are the way they are, why some decisions are made, why teams clash.
Exactly. And the cool part is, once you see it, you can actually do something about it. Maybe you push for a bit more freedom on your team, or you start championing that always be learning attitude. Even small things, if they nudge your workplace towards that Theory Z way of thinking, well, that makes you more adaptable, more likely to try new things, more ready for AI.
And that's where Agile comes in, right? The video makes a simple case that Agile culture, values, principles, practices, processes, and tools can help bridge that gap between the old school Theory X and that AI-friendly Theory Z.
Totally. It's like imagine Theory X is this big brick wall blocking the path to AI. Agile gives you the tools to start chipping away at that wall, letting those Theory Z ideas peek through.
I like that. Agile as a battering ram for good culture. Makes sense, though. Agile is all about breaking down rigid structures, being more flexible, experimenting as you go.
Which is exactly what AI needs. It's constantly learning, evolving, so it can't be stuck in a rigid environment.
And the video has this great visual, the AI readiness gauge, right? Shows you how embracing Agile helps a company move along that spectrum, away from X, towards being truly ready for AI.
Super useful visual. Really highlights that shift needed.
What I'm curious about, though, is the how. Like, from your experience, what's the hardest part for companies trying to make this shift?
Oh, that's easy. It's the inertia. A lot of companies, they've been doing things the Theory X way for so long, it's baked into their DNA. It's hard to break free from that, especially if the folks at the top are resistant.
Like turning a giant ship, right? Needs a lot of effort, and you got to convince the captain first.
Exactly. But it is possible. The video showcases companies who did make that shift, and they all had a few things in common. Strong leaders who believed in it, willingness to experiment, even if it meant messing up sometimes, and a culture of trust. That's huge.
So it's not just new tech, it's new thinking, how people lead, how they view work.
And it boils down to empowerment. People feeling comfortable to take risks, to speak up, to learn from each other. That's where the real magic happens.
And Agile helps create that space, right, with its emphasis on collaboration, feedback, all that good stuff.
Agile can be a real driver of cultural change, especially when it comes to embracing AI.
Now, I'm thinking of our listeners. Some might be feeling a little overwhelmed. What's your advice? Where do they even start with all this?
Small steps. First, just notice, look around your workplace, see if you can spot those XYZ ideas playing out. Once you're aware, then you can think about little changes you can make in your area.
Oh, in your corner of the world.
Right, exactly. Every little bit counts. Maybe you suggest trying a new Agile practice with your team, or you speak up about needing more autonomy on a project. It all adds up.
So even if you're not the CEO, you can be a champion for change, starting small.
Yep. And you know what? The more people who start thinking this way, the more likely we are to see real change happen company-wide.
It's like a grassroots movement for better workplaces. Love it.
Right. It makes me excited to think about it.
Me too. This video really captures that sense of possibility. We're not just pawns in this AI game. We can choose how we play, how we use these tools, how we build the future of work.
And we should be having these conversations in our workplaces, with friends, everywhere. The more we talk about these management ideas, about Agile, the better prepared we'll be.
Because it's not just about work, is it? This is about shaping the kind of world we want to live in, one where tech serves US, not the other way around.
You got it. And that's the core message I got from the video, and I hope our listeners do too. It's a powerful thought to carry with you as you navigate this whole AI thing.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And speaking of the video, we encourage everyone to check it out. Link in the description, as always.
Definitely worth the watch.
All right, before we jump into specific takeaways, there's a question that might be on some minds out there. What if you're stuck in a Theory X company? Is all hope lost?
Great question, and the video actually addresses that. Good news is, even in the most rigid companies, there's always a chance for change. It might start small, like introducing Agile on your team, or pushing for more decision-making power at the lower levels, but you gotta start somewhere.
It's like planting seeds, right? Might take time, but eventually.
Exactly, and the video has tips on doing this well. finding people who might be open to these ideas, building allies, framing those changes in a way that resonates with your company's goals. It's not about forcing change, but growing it from within.
That's smart and probably takes a lot of patience.
Oh, for sure. Changing company culture takes time and effort. You will hit roadblocks, but keep your eye on the prize, celebrate the small wins, and eventually you build momentum that's hard to ignore.
Now, that's inspiring. Gives me hope that we can build a future where tech empowers people, not just controls them.
Me too. And it starts with conversations like this, raising awareness, advocating for a more human approach to EI.
Couldn't agree more. We got to be proactive, and that starts with understanding these theories, understanding Agile, and how they can help build a better workplace for everyone.
And remember, this isn't limited to work. These ideas apply anywhere. People work together towards a goal. Family, community groups, you name it.
It's about building a better world, period.
Exactly. The video really nails that. It's not just about better jobs, it's about better lives.
Love that. And I think that's the perfect note, too. Okay, so we've talked a lot about how Theory X kind of clashes with the whole AI thing. But what about the flip side? What happens when a company is already more Theory Z as they're bringing in AI?
That's when you see the real potential. It's not AI as the enemy coming to take our jobs. It's AI as a tool that helps everyone do their jobs better, more creatively, more strategically.
And the video had some great examples of that, right?
Tons. Companies using AI to handle those repetitive tasks that no one really enjoys anyway, frees people up to focus on the stuff that requires human ingenuity, problem solving, all those uniquely human skills.
Makes sense. So if a company is already leaning Theory Z, embracing those Agile culture, values, principles, practices, processes, and tools can really supercharge their AI journey.
100%. It's the perfect match. Agile's all about that collaboration, trying things out, getting feedback, and improving constantly. That's exactly the kind of environment where AI can thrive.
Okay, so thinking about our listeners, many are probably eager to put this into practice. What are some of the most actionable things they can take away from the video and apply to their own work?
The video really hammers home the importance of a growth mindset, seeing challenges as opportunities to learn, not roadblocks, being open to feedback, constantly pushing yourself to grow, whether you're leading a team or just working on your own, that mindset is gold.
So if you want to thrive in this AI world, you got to be a lifelong learner.
You got it. And the video also encourages people to actively seek out opportunities to learn about AI, how it's being used in their field, what resources are out there. There's so much info available. No excuse not to stay curious.
It's about taking ownership, right? Your own development, your role in this future we're building.
Exactly. This isn't something being done to us. We have a choice in how we work, how we use these tools, how we shape the future of work.
We got to be part of the conversation. And the more we understand these management theories, the role of Agile, the better prepared we'll be to make good choices.
Totally agree. We need to be talking about this more in our workplaces, with friends, families. It impacts us all.
It's about more than just work, though. It's about building a world where tech enhances our lives, not dictates them.
And that's the message I really took to heart from this video. It's not just about making work better, it's about making life better.
Beautifully put. All right, listeners, we highly recommend checking out the video for yourselves. You can find the links down below. It's seriously inspiring, and we'd love to hear what you think.
And as always, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll be back next week diving into another fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building that future of work we all want.